What's happening, all you Minties? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions, and that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about today. My haul of collected editions for October and November of 2022. We're going to put them together. So this is probably the last haul video of the year. Stay tuned. And welcome back, everybody. So here is the last haul of the year. The December haul will probably come out sometime in January, but there's a lot of books, and I just got so caught up in doing other type of videos that I completely forgot about my October haul until so many of you reached out to me and asked me if I was doing an October-November haul, and I said, yeah, that was planned. That's exactly what I wanted to do from the beginning. Put 2 months together. No, there's a lot of books. Now, I will go ahead and say most of these books you've already seen on videos, like the Absolute Multiplicity and the Absolute Multiplicity. That's freaking Michael Keaton movie. No. Absolute Multiverse, Absolute Metal, and some of the hardcovers. So those I won't show on the video. We do have different playlists. Like we have the haul playlist, we have hardcover playlist, Omnibus playlist. So if you want to jump around, make sure to watch our videos and check out the playlist. But there's a lot of other books here. So, thank you so much to all of you that have been patient and waiting for this video, but here it finally is. Let's go ahead and dive into some of these books I haven't talked about. Okay, today I'm going to be starting with Mikkel's pile that he sent my way, and then mixing some of the stuff that I've gotten too. And then we're going to be looking at some of the stuff Chris sent me, and Kyle, of course. But what I was going to say is, if you watch my Saturday stream, you saw this 2 big boxes that Super Laugh Heart sent my way. That will be in the January haul because I feel like that deserves its own video. But I do have a couple of books from those boxes to show you to kind of give you a taste of what's to come. But yeah, let's start with these right here. He was kind enough to go to some shows and get some of these books signed for me. A lot of these come with extra goodies, but yeah, let's check these out. So this is the Behemoth Productions Instruction for Making a Proper Offering to Forgotten Gods. I believe he sent me the single issue last year, and I love the colors, I love the story, and yes, he got all these signs. He got the writers and the colorist, so Spell was the colorist. I love your colors, man. And Igor Wolski is the illustrator, whose artwork is just so awesome. It's like something you would see on Adult Swim, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love that stuff. But okay. Early aughts Adult Swim, not the new Adult Swim. But it's just gorgeous artwork that comes to life with the help of the colors. And it is a beautiful fantasy story. And it is available in trade paperback by Behemoth Productions. And it is in English for the people wondering, because this was from overseas. And you get the black and white art in there, as well as the variant covers. But man, look at that cover right there with the sword and the blood. That is freaking awesome. So, it's a little bit of the creators' bios back here. But this is Instruction for Making a Proper Offering to Forgotten Gods, Night Janik. Awesome book. So he also sent me Namesake, which is by Steve Orlando. This is published by Boom Studios here. And these are books I've never got around to reading, but he just thought I may end up liking. So I have not read this one or the next couple of books. Some of them are published by Boom, some of them are published by Oni Press. But Steve Orlando, hit and miss with me. There's some things that I really enjoy by him, and some things that wasn't the best. But the artwork in here is by Jakub Rebelka. Love those colors. There's a single issue that he sent my way of AWA, Hit Me. So this is a production company, or a publishing company, that I've been wanting to check out. This is a single issue. I know it's not a collected edition, but so I haven't gotten a chance to read it yet, but the artwork is freaking phenomenal. And this one does have mature themes. As I was flipping through here, I realized, can't show that page or that one. Okay. This is on my pile to read next to my bedside, and this is Judas by Jeff Loveness and Jakub Rebelka. And he was nice enough to get this remark from Jakub Rebelka, the artist on the book. This is to Melanie and Omar. I love that Melanie, ladies first. That's nice. That's kind. Even though I'm on the channel, like a lot more than she is. Probably 7 times a week. But that's okay. No one's counting. So I've not even heard of this story. This is published, I believe, by Boom. Yeah, it is Boom Studios. And it is the story of Judas, of course, giving some liberties. But the artwork is freaking stunning, and it looks like it's a religious book. So I understand, some people can't read these kind of things, just because I get it. Sometimes they stray too much into fiction, but I enjoy these things. I really like these type of stories. I remember reading the Noah. That was published by Image Comics, so I look forward to reading this one. Like I said, this one's on my bedside. Then there's Origins. This one's also published by Boom Studios. It's also by my bedside, but it's underneath a bunch of other books. So this is created by Arash Amel, Lee Krieger, Joseph Oxford, and the scripts by Clay McLeod Chapman. My goodness, Jakub Rebelka's doing the artwork in this as well. Guy's a killer artist. Look at that. So this looks to be a post-apocalyptic type of world, that kind of story. But you have 4 writers on the book. My goodness. And this is one that I've not heard of. Origins. I'm not sure when it came out. It looks relatively new, but I haven't heard anyone talk about it, so I'm excited to read it, and you might see it on Hidden Gems. Actually, a lot of these you might see on my Hidden Gems, which returns in January. Tiny Fox and Great Boar. This is a book I remember seeing on the upcoming collected editions video. Yes, I actually have to watch those too, just to make, because I'm the one that's editing them. But does it surprise you that I actually watched that video? Because I do say I don't really watch my videos. And I don't, but that's the one that I have to go back to sometimes to write down, oh wait, I want that one. I don't know why I don't do it ahead of time, but sometimes I forget books. So this is Tiny Fox and Great Boar there. And this is so beautiful. Hi, Melanie. Hello, Omar. By the artist right there. And it's part of the book. Oh my gosh, it's such a beautiful little art piece. My goodness. So Tiny Fox and Great Boar there. It's written and illustrated by Berenika Kotomika. I'm so sorry. And then the letters are by, I believe it's pronounced Crank. I think I could do that one. But this is what the artwork looks like. It looks like a children's book, and it's one that caught my interest because of the cover. Sometimes I love just judging books by their cover, or making purchases based on covers alone. Uncanny Omar Talk Pretty One Day. Alone. I do that a lot with Magnetic Press, because I know they're European books, and sometimes they could be kiddie books, and then sometimes, nope, hell no, you're lured into a state of false security with that artwork, and it is a brutal story. So I don't know what this is. I've been wanting to read it, so thank you so much, man, for sending this my way. This was a nice surprise, and it's all in English. This one's published by Oni Press, so it is available here in America. Then there's some more little goodies right here that he ended up getting for us. So kind, man. You my viewers, I swear, you guys are the freaking best. This is Om by Peter Nowacki. And this one is not in English. You don't need it to be, because most of the story just relies on following pictures. And this is so sweet. It's an actual picture right there for Omar and Melanie. Dude, that is so awesome. And that one was drawn by Peter Nowacki. I don't even know what that says. But I'm not even going to take a guess. Nope, not going to do that. But this is what the comic is. It's pretty much a comic strip that relies on no dialogue. There is a little bit of dialogue. Here, let me show you. Towards the end here. And I think it's just a little bit of behind the scenes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, right here. But that's it. I mean, most of the comic is like this, easy to follow. I could do that. Then he sent Wage Slaves right here by Daria Bogdanska. This one here is in English, by the way. So this has been translated into English. It is published by Centrala. So I'm not sure if this one is widely available here in America, but this is what the artwork looks like. I have no idea what this is. Looks like it's dialogue heavy, so hey, I can use some of those from time to time. But again, these are the type of books that I love putting in my hidden gems to focus on, if I really enjoy them, right? Like if they speak to me and I get something out of them, or I think some of my viewers could, I definitely include them. But this is Wage Slaves. Then we have The Underhogs. And this one, I'm not sure who the publisher is. This is another one that I think is just no dialogue, or if very little dialogue, rather. That the artwork just carries the story. It is all in black and white. And this is what it looks like. This is another one that kind of reminds me of those Adult Swim type of artwork. But yeah, there's no dialogue. Sound effects look to have been translated, or I guess they're easy to read, rather. But this is what the art looks like. Pretty easy to follow story. And speaking of story and art, oh, it's an actual tape. I recognize those names. Yeah, okay, they tell you what to listen to. This is the soundtrack to it. I'm trying to give credit to the writer and artist on this, though. Okay. Kowalczuk and Henrik. Yeah, sorry about that. Uncanny Omar learned to pronounce names one day. Then we have Bajabongo. And this is by Marek Tudek. Comes with Sex, Violence, and Mr. Silence. Is that an ashcan? I haven't seen an ashcan in forever. That's awesome. Ashcans are coming back. Another one that doesn't have any dialogue. This is what the artwork looks like. The paper has this yellowish tone to it. Kind of gives it an older, classic feel to this particular story. And no idea what it's about, because it's not in English, but you don't need it to be. That's really cool. Did he do these two? Yeah, he did. These are, I assume, his next comic he's working on. This one also looks like to be no dialogue. Next up is this little comic. This looks like a 45, size of a 45, like a record, a single. And this is Diego Frias's Tech Filter. And he sent this my way with a bunch of little goodies right here. Bookmarks and stickers. And also two beautiful prints. This one I get Attack on Titan vibes. And then this one right here gives me some Isaac Asimov vibes. Except he didn't draw any. But, you know, told stories about robots and electric sheep. All right. So there's this beautiful note right here with the remark right there. Oh, man, that is so nice. Thank you for sending this my way. I cannot wait to read this. This is what the artwork looks like. My goodness, the details on this are absolutely stunning. I get a little bit of Nick Bradshaw vibes looking at this. And of course, when talking about Nick Bradshaw, how can I not talk about Arthur Adams? So yeah, a little bit of that with more anime. Then throw in some Battle Angel Alita vibes in there, like Kishida's art. Man, this looks freaking awesome. I get a little Blade Runner vibe. So this looks so cool. It's all in black and white. And I believe this is self-published, if I'm not mistaken. Diego Frias del Valle is the creator behind this. So if you're interested in a copy, you can reach out to him via John Key Link. Right there. John Key Link. And I'll put this in the description of the video too, in case people are wondering where to acquire a copy of this. I love the format though. It's a smaller size book. Freaking awesome. Here's Amazing Spider-Man Full Circle. I think it was Chris that sent this our way, or was it it might have been Steve that sent us our way. The Astonishing Melanie immediately swooped us up and started reading it. So she said she might do an overview of this book sometime soon. But this is Spider-Man Full Circle. So that one will come to the channel soon. And speaking of soon, what is sooner than this afternoon? That's when my overview of Spawn Deluxe Edition Volume 11 is coming out. Haven't gotten a chance to do an overview of this, so I figured I'd give you a sneak peek of this Angel Medina Danny Mickey artwork. I'll be going in depth with the stories in here and the artwork and talking about the build of the book on this afternoon's video. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Check out the different playlists we have. I can't believe I didn't have this before. This is Weapon H by Greg Pak. This is the follow-up to his Weapon X series. And it all kicks off with the Weapons of Mutant Destruction. It's the new character of Clay. And I was just talking about this character. And he was in the Savage Avengers. So it made me go and pick up a copy of this because I was like, oh yeah. For some reason, I can't find my Weapon X comics by Pack, and I never picked this up. So the series didn't last long, and if you're thinking to yourself, is this just a mix between Wolverine and Hulk? Yeah, damn right it is. That's exactly what this is. It's the ultimate weapon. Man, I remember when his first appearance was going for so much money, people were hyping the character up. They were like, oh, it's the next best thing. It's the new Wolverine. I don't know if that's still true or not, but it's Weapon H collecting the first 6 issues of the Weapon H spin-off series. Here's Shadow. This is published by Vault Comics, and it is a beautiful book. And written by Kavan Scott, and Corin Howe is the artist on the book. And I wanted to talk about this in October, but I never got a chance to do a proper overview of it because Time. Man, if only we had more hours to the day. But this is definitely your horror type of story. It's definitely your monster type of story. And it all features this young lady who's a witch and how the rest of the underworld is coming for her. It all takes place in London. It's been a couple months since I read it, but it may show back up on the channel for sure. And that is Shadow. And this collects the first 5 issues of Shadow. Scarehood by Nick Richey and Chris O'Halloran. And this is published by IDW. This is another one I read back in October. Didn't make the creepy list, but Nick Richey, man, the guy that was, to me, an artist in Transformers, and he eventually started co-plotting and writing stuff. This is his horror story. And this one will show back up in Hidden Gems, because I really enjoyed it. Just for some reason, didn't really make the breaks. Chris O'Halloran's doing the colors on this one. But Nick Richey, who has a cartoony style, of course, but it's one of those books, like I said, that kind of fools you into thinking, oh, this is a kid's book, but it's not. This is a lot of creepy things are in this particular book. And yeah, this was a hidden gem for sure. This was a surprise. And the reason I ended up reading this to begin with was because one of my viewers on my Transformers video was like, oh man, if you like Nick Richey's artwork, dude, you need to check out Scarehood, because I think it was, he had just finished watching my top 13 best horror graphic novels, and he got me to check this out, and I'm glad I did. These came from one of my viewers. This was so kind, because they were looking at my shelf and saw that I had Beast Wars, but I didn't have it in oversized format or in normal size format. Is that signed? Oh my gosh, it is signed. So thank you so much, man, for sending this my way. I believe this came from Partworks, or if not, Chris, because we've had stacks, and my wife usually does an amazing job of writing it down. This has been available in Omnibus format. Now, don't get too excited, because the Omnibus format is the smaller scale book, like the digest size books, when IDW was doing them, and they're soft covers too, so they're not true Omnis. But man, the artwork is just stunning. It mixes both Beast Wars and Beast Wars 2 from Japan. So keep an eye on the Transformers Reading Order Part 2. You'll definitely see these books in there. The Rush, also published by Vault Comics. Written by Cy Spurrier. I believe it's Mark Gooden that does the artwork, and Addison Duke does the colors. This all takes place during the Yukon territory of 1889. 1899. I just saw the freaking year right there. What the hell is wrong with me? But there are horrible things happening. It's got some horror elements in here, and I don't want to spoil it. But, man, I think I need to do like a horror book for each month, because I do 5 hidden gems every month, except for November, December, where I focus on top 10s and top 20s of things like that. But feels like for the next year, I need to be adding some horror comics to each month of Hidden Gems, because I want to talk about this one too. Wonder Woman Game of the Gods by Walter Simonson and Jerry Ordway. What? Why? This is so random. It is. It is random. Unless you're a guy that does reading orders on his videos. So I needed this one. I don't know why I never ended up getting it. Probably because it was caught between the Byrne run and the Phil Jimenez run, and I never went back to get the trade paperback, because I was like, oh, surely they'll collect that in Omnibus one day. Yeah, no, they did not. But this is Wonder Woman. It's a short run by Walter Simonson, and as I mentioned, immediately after John Byrne left the book. So when I do the reading order of Wonder Woman, she gets a new haircut. You will be seeing this book there, and that's why I had to pick it up, but that's Game of Gods. Jim Lives. This is a book that I thought I picked up, but I could not find it, so you may have seen it on my haul video a year ago, I don't know. But it's one that I've wanted to read, and now I found it. It is written by Pablo Barón, and Ernesto Carbonetti does the artwork in here. I love the fact that they are credited as lyrics and music. Very nice, because, that's what making a comic is like an album. The mystery of the lead singer of The Doors and the 27 Club. So that's what this is. This is a mystery about the life of Jim. And man, that art is stunning. I'm surprised this was never released in oversized hardcover format, just because of the art alone. But yeah, this is one that I've wanted to read. I thought I had it. Thought I picked it up. I don't know. But anyway, Jim Morrison, if you're a fan of The Doors, Jim Morrison, or just conspiracies and mysteries, that's why I got it. Metal Man. And then sometimes I get books that I've had an interest in because it was $1. Went to a local comic book shop, I think in October, and they were having 50% off sales. So this was $1. That's right. I paid 50 cents for this. And one of the reasons I wanted to get it is what you're looking at here. It's that artwork by Duncan Relau, who also writes the stories. Now, this is the pre-New 52 Metal Man, if I'm not mistaken. And nobody ever really did anything with this incarnation of Metal Man yet, Duncan Relau. But it was just nice to check out. I never got a chance to read it outside of the first issue, but here it is, so I had to pick it up. Now, on my channel, a lot of my viewers send me stuff for myself, if we want to keep, or for giveaways. And Philip, my dude Philip, oh my gosh, he sent us 4 boxes. So we had 4 boxes of giveaways. We already gave some. I've snuck some into our 70,000 subscriber winners, and then I will be sneaking some in to our 80, not sneaking, actually giving them away to our 80,000 subscribers winners. But this is Thor Omnibus Volume 3, and one that I didn't have because I sold this. But he was nice enough, he's like, dude, you got Volume 1, you can have Volume 3. He didn't have Volume 2, but I'm sure one day that will be reprinted. This collects Thor 153 all the way to 194. 194 if I'm not mistaken. And it also has annuals 3 and 4, but those are just the covers. And it has all the introductions from the Marvel Masterworks. We have it a Volume 1 reprint. Hopefully we'll get a reprint of Volume 2 if that Volume 1 sold well enough. And then a reprint of Volume 3. So they can have matching spines if you're one of those people that have to have matching spines. And then I think most of you, for the most part, are like me. You're like, whatever. I'll keep the spine that's I have now. I think I not lost that battle, but I gave up on that battle with manga and movies too, or TV shows. I just got tired of the production companies changing the spines or where they're putting the logos. So yeah, whatever. I get the frustration, but I don't let it stop me from picking up books that I've wanted in big collected editions format. But yes, this is Thor Volume 3. This has only had 1 printing. It is still available, especially if you're trying to get... That is the, I believe, Russell Dauterman cover right here. Yeah, that's got to be Russell Dauterman. The Russell Dauterman cover, since it's the standard edition cover, is a lot easier to get than the direct market cover. But if you want me to do a retro view of this one day, just leave the comments down below and I'll be happy to. I need to bring retro views back, but with all the books coming out in the last 2 months... Whew, it's been hard to go back and reread things. I've had to read things for the first time. If you're enjoying the content of this video and you enjoy our content, please don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. I'll let you know when our videos are going live, and smash that like button while you're here. Alright, to give you an idea of what Super Laugh Hard sent my way, this is a small taste, but he sent a bunch of books, and he was so kind to like fill in those missing gaps of some of the case files that I was missing, and then he sent me some rare things like hardcover editions of these books that I had no idea were out. This is the 2080 Ultimate Collection, and then this is a special edition of Case Files number 1, but it's got the color stuff in here. This is crazy. This is the complete Case File number 1. This is the 10th anniversary, and it is bigger than the case file, like the standard size of the case files, so it's a little bit bigger in trim size. Of course, most of it being in black and white, but it does leave in those color pages that were missing from the original case files, the soft cover. So that is really cool. Now I'm wondering, did they do any more of case files in hardcover format? Because I don't know if I want to go down that rabbit hole, but holy crap, this is so awesome. Again, I'll be doing my, December haul in January, so keep an eye out on the channel for that, but definitely have these 2 in there. The Kyle Pile. We have 2 books right here that came with prints, and oh my gosh, it comes with a lot of extra goodies right here. A lot of little postcards, and these are awesome, man. So this is Aldous Spark and the Feast of the Unspoiled. It is an ongoing graphic novel. It is written by Peter Mirani, and it's got pencils and inks by Mauricio Alvarez. And the colors are Derek Dow. The designs of the books are all done by Sonia Harris and Justin Cornell. So right now, these are volumes 1 and 2. of a 4-volume set, and they're all available through Kickstarter. And it all takes place again in 1899, where a secret war rages in control of the 20th century. And in the center of all of this is Aldous Spark, who is a covert operative of the Black Moth Society. So that's pretty much it. You could still get both volumes without the Kickstarter extras. And I'll leave the link. It's at the grenadefight.net. I believe each one of these is $20. But these are hardcovers. And the things you won't be getting are like the prints or the those little postcards right there. But you can still get the hardcovers if you're interested in this. Man, that artwork is killer. So is the colors. So this is supposed to be 4 books. I don't know if they're planning on doing a slipcase edition or not, but so far these are cool. Velour and Tweed by Taylor Mosby. This is from Mudprint Comics. And speaking of extras, man, there's all kinds of things thrown in here. Seriously, thanks for backing. This is all part of the Kickstarter. And there's things I've never seen in extras. That's pretty cool. I think that's actually written. That's not a sticker that's printed or anything. There's bookmarks. And immediately I got Roger Rabbit vibes from this. Okay, so this is all about a worn out but optimistic PI named Velour. And his partner is this little 2.5-foot robot called Tweed. So he's not a robot. He's not a rabbit. He's a robit. This little guy right there. So they pretty much navigate the bizarre streets of Port Orion. And the streets are filled with robots, and animal people, and monsters. So I love the ads in between here. And apparently there is a mystery that happens that they both have to solve. Those covers are freaking killer, man. And these are available, or this right now is available through the Kickstarter. But there are limited copies also on Amazon, if you're wondering. So, and that is Velour and Tweed, Zero Negentropy. And again, this is Velour and Tweed. I don't know if they plan on doing another volume because, well, there's no volume 1 there. But this one came with a lot of goodies. It is a soft cover, by the way. Here we have Ice Pick, the definitive edition. This is by Todd Rayner. This one comes with a card. That is a thick card. Todd Rayner is the creator, story illustrator, and then there's also some pencil assist in there. Todd Rayner, and it's by Dark Space Studios. So this story right here revolves around Ice Pick, who's looking for answers about his parents' death. And as the story unfolds, we learn about his past, his parents, and the mysteries around his best friends and fiance. Then we throw in the mob, the police, and the supernatural hero stuff, and you have a pretty interesting adventure where one man uncovers things he never could imagine. So this is the Kickstarter exclusive, but the digital issues and Kindle versions are all available through Amazon. This is a soft cover, and it is the definitive edition. I'm trying to see what this, right here is. Oh, I think this is his original comic idea that he did. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, I want to see more creators do that. That's cool. Whoa, because you can see the evolution of an artist. That is really wicked. I'm so glad that's in there. So again, this is Ice Pick, and all by Dark Space Studios. PvP, the slipcase edition. There we go. Let's get out a little bit. So that comes in inside of a slipcase that has the same art that is found here. Now, this is the Awesome-ology from Scott Kurtz. It does have the slipcase and hardcover. The artwork in here is by Christian Donaldson. It is from 2009, and it's published by Image Comics. So this is the deluxe hardcover collection of the online comic strip from 1998 to 2005. Dude, I have so many of my friends that were so jealous of this when they came down here. I was showing my basement, and they were like, oh my gosh, is that the PvP slipcase edition? They actually called it the Awesome-ology, which is its name. So yes, this is pretty much everything that they did on the website, and it's all the online comic strip from 1998 to 2005. There's also a bonus section back here that shows what the what Scott was working on from 1996 to 1998. It is out of print, so the only place you can probably get it are places like eBay and Amazon. But it's PvP, and no sign or talk of reprints. And, sometimes when these things sold out years ago, and we're talking about a book that came out in 2009, like, it's hard to tell, the publishing company, well, you try to reprint it because we have a different market now. But this is what the artwork looks like. So if you're familiar with PvP, the player versus player webcomic, this is exactly what you're going to be getting. So, man, this was a nice surprise. Early Christmas, brother. Thank you so much. And then other stuff back here. Garfield? That is Garfield. Voltron, Defender of the Universe. A Legend is Forged. So this is by DDP, who has been around for a long time. They actually published some other Voltron books. And this is the retelling of the origin of Voltron. It's all written by Josh Blaylock, and the pencils are Mike Baer and Julia Box. And then there's the colorist right there, and the letter Crank. Hey, another Crank lettering. But here's the card team of Voltron, and I'm sure most people are familiar with the Lion team. But my gosh, I haven't read this in years. So it's nice to have it in a collection. These are harder to find because DDP's been out of, well, they haven't made any books in a long time, and the books that they have made have been long out of print. But here's some of the variant covers all the way in the back. It's a gorgeous one right there. And the sketchbook by Tim Seeley. It's blank. Oh, maybe this is the sketchbook by Tim Seeley. The hell was I thinking? And that is Voltron, A Legend Forged. I believe this one came from New Spooey Channel, if I'm not mistaken. This is Star Wars A New Hope Cinestory comic. So this is an adaptation of the Star Wars movie. I don't know if they still make these, but these were really popular in the 80s and 90s. And pretty much they took just shots from the movie and they added lettering. Come on, what an easy way to make it. Well, I want to say easy, but I don't know how long it was taking them back then with the technology. These type of books really blew up with anime, especially with the Studio Ghibli stuff. Like, they started marketing those books for kids, so they made it into a cinecomic is what they're called. Let me see if there's anything back here. Okay, there's the photograph gallery back here. Some behind the scenes, the costume gallery. This, I don't think is published by Marvel or Dark Horse. I want to say this is Joe Books that published this one, but it's for the 40th anniversary. That is Star Wars A New Hope Cinestory comic. So I got a couple of magnetic press books here. This one is Trapped on Sarkis, one that was on my radar. I think there was a limited edition Kickstarter of this one. This is written by Jan, and it is drawn by Didier Cassegrain. And it's also the colors are done by... Oh my gosh, I love these European books. They are so gorgeous. But look, I was going to get this, but seriously, I was going to get this anyway. It's magnetic press, and 9 times out of 10, I end up getting their books. And sometimes, even if the story's a stinker, the artwork really carries the story. And I'm not saying that about this book, by the way. I'm just saying that in general. Sometimes you take chances when you're buying books that you have no idea about. But the thing about, it's a visual medium, so it makes sense that even though you don't like the story, you're still reading it because the artwork is carrying the story and is really good. But sometimes it's vice versa. Sometimes the story is so good that you don't care about the artwork. The story really gets you and it reaches you. And I think it's a question I get asked often on my Saturday live streams. Which do I prefer? Do I prefer the story or the art? Because I have absolute versions of things like Jim Lee's Wildcats, where the story for me, just no thanks. But then I have also collections of Jeff Lemire's Underwater Welder, where the artwork is not for me. But I think I'm going to have to stick with writing, just because for a guy that has been reading comics 37 plus years, oh my gosh, There are times that I was reading X-Men or Excalibur, X-Factor, where the artwork was just so bad. But I'm like, no, I gotta keep going through it because at least the writing is good. Or sometimes not even good, but decent. I don't know why I went on that tangent when talking about this book. But I was just showcasing the artwork. Next up, we have another magnetic press book. You can tell by the rounded edges. Love it. This is Blackwater Lilies. Love that title. That cover, no idea what is in here. Are we talking about little fairies? I don't know why I went with fairies. You never know what you're going to get. But this is based on a novel by Michael Bussey, adapted by Fred Duval, and the illustrations are Didier Casagrain, who did the artwork in the Trapped on Zarkas. So it's got those watercolors. Oh, wow. Actually, the art looks a little bit different than Trapped on Zarkas. This artwork looks killer. Actually, this looks really interesting. Not that the other book didn't. You have two hot chicks on top of a giant bug, and they have guns. Yeah, well, what's not to like about that? But this looks more down to earth. It's the type of stories I really enjoy. So we'll see what this has to do with this. Okay, this looks like a love story. I just flipped through half the book. I'm not going to flip anymore because I haven't read it yet. This looks interesting. Let me know if you've read it, without spoilers, if you enjoyed it. Lady Death, Omnibus Volume 1. Now, this is bigger than an omnibus, a DC and Marvel omnibus. They really went for that Marvel omnibus look there. But this is a slipcase edition. It was a Kickstarter, and I heard some horrible stories about how the Kickstarter, unfortunately, or Indiegogo maybe, a lot of the copies got lost, like damaged, so they had to redo it again. So Brian Pulido's work on Lady Death, and I'm not sure what, I haven't even had a chance to open this, but let's look at the credits here. So Brian Pulido, Brian Augustine, of course we lost Brian Augustine earlier this year. Loved his run. Seriously, without Brian Augustine, we would not have had Flash by Mark Waid. And honestly, Mark Waid's career is built on that. It's a damn shame because they were really good friends. So we have Damnation Game, Extinction Express, Oblivion Kiss. Doesn't look like it's got her first appearance, so this might be newer stuff. I thought this was older material of Lady Death, and the reason I picked it up was because, yeah, I was one of those people that actually picked up Lady Death and Evil Ernie, her first appearance, mainly because of speculation. And it was, yeah, they were worth a lot of money, so I was one of those people. I was a teenager, and I remember going to the comic book shop, and they had a low print run on Evil Ernie. It was the first appearance of Lady Death. No, I actually got Lady Death 1, and that was a low print run, so I immediately went to buy Evil Ernie, where she made her first appearance. But the whole reason I bought it was because I knew I could flip it later on. Oh my gosh, that was I want to say 95, 94? Time, man. It just does not stop. But this is what the artwork looks like, and yeah, this isn't the original stuff. Looks like new material. Let me look in the back here. So all the way in the back, you have a sketchbook. That artwork looks really nice in black and white. And then preview pages, you have the cover gallery here, and they're all textless covers. Mike McCrone doing that one? Thought it was Mike McCone for a second. So the art looks nice. Just haven't gotten a chance to read it. So it looks like this is the newer series of Lady Death, and not the classic stuff by Chaos Comics. This is all the Coffin comics, maybe? But one thing I wanted to show is the silver gilded paper right there. I got a little close to the camera that time. There you go. That's all around the book. So the paper stock actually is this thick, glossy paper for the whole book. But that is Lady Death, Omnibus Volume 1. I can assume there's going to be a Volume 2. Last, but certainly not least, and this comes with an apology because this happens from time to time, this is Adam Lum's The Tide. And he gave me these prints to go along with it. Beautiful prints. And he sent a copy of the debut edition. This is the first book, which is also here. And then these limited edition monster covers of volumes 1 and 2. This is going to be, I believe, a 4-volume set. I set these to the side, and he sent them to me earlier this year, and I feel so bad. I set them to the side, and I was going to read them, and then things just kept happening, and I kept getting distracted, and we moved things around. They ended up in another room, so I didn't get to read them until October, and I wish I had done a video for October, because this would have been perfect, but this is such a cool book, and thank you so much, Adam. Man, this was so nice and unexpected. So, I love these European type of albums that people seem to be doing these days. It's very cool. So they're all oversized, and they're all pretty much one comic in here. And The Tide is all about this group of people that live around this wall that's protected. So think of like Attack on Titan, but there's this tide that's coming. And the people that live around this wall, in the people of Mar, think they're safe because they're living behind the wall. But something else is coming. And it's not just coming from the tide, it's coming from underground. So that's what this is. It's also a witness protection type of story. But this is what the artwork looks like. It is killer. Let me show you some of Volume 2. They're really quick reads, and I really want to pick up the rest. I want to get Volumes 3 and 4. I think that's what the plan was, to do 3 or 4 volumes. But this is what the art looks like. So this is awesome. I'm going to put a link in the description of the video where you can get copies yourself. They are oversized books, too. They're big, huge books. And again, thank you to Adam for reaching out to me and sending these my way and being patient with me. But that's it. That, as they say, is that. If you're interested in purchasing some of these books, check out our sponsors. If you live in Europe and are interested in buying and pre-ordering Omnis, then you should definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices for Marvel and DC books within the EU, flat rate shipping of €12 for all EU countries, bulletproof packaging, and all emails will be answered within 24 hours. They offer a huge selection of out-of-print books. Just head over to waltzcomicshop.com for more great deals and rare titles. And for a limited time, you can use the code nearmintcon, all one word at the checkout, to get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order of over €40. Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for Omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that's it! That was my haul for October and November of 2022. Let me know in the comments down below what you've picked up in the last couple of months, what you plan on picking up in December, what you hope to get for Christmas. I would love to know all those comments down below. Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out, please. Ring that bell for notifications, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. All of that helps with our YouTube algorithm and our channel keep growing. But that's it, everyone. Stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.